Right now at 10, new testimony in the Adam Fravel murder trial reveals allegations of physical abuse.
And both presidential candidates are making their final appeals in Wisconsin as Election Day draws near.
Plus, the La Crosse school board members host their final informational session for the upcoming referendum.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. In the Adam Fravel trial, testimony from two of Madeline Kingsbury's friends revealed alleged physical abuse. Katie Kolka told jurors that Kingsbury showed her a bruise on her neck and claimed it was from Fravel choking her. Haley Scott told jurors that during FaceTime calls with Kingsbury, she saw bruises around her neck and throat. Other friends testified they saw the same. A domestic violence consultant testified that victims stay in abusive relationships because of their kids. The defense is set to begin on Friday, with closing statements scheduled for Monday.
An Onalaska school custodian has pleaded not guilty to child porn possession. 65-year-old David Baltz was one of 3 arrests earlier this month by La Crosse and Onalaska police for child porn-related charges. Onalaska School District placed Baltz on administrative leave. He is out on a $750 signature bond. His pretrial conference is set for November 15th.
3 are dead after a fatal crash on State Highway 35 in the township of Seneca last night. Crawford County Sheriff's Office reports the crash occurred around 11:30 p.m. The driver of the SUV, Benjamin Kramer, crossed the center line and collided with a semi-trailer. Benjamin and Simon Kramer were pronounced dead at the scene, and Heather Kramer was transported to the hospital, where she later died. The crash remains under investigation.
Well, definitely was a wet evening, continues to be wet overnight. So as once you wake up in your morning commute, we're going to have another line of showers come through that will impact the morning commute for La Crosse. But then by 9 to 10, it's going to begin to dry off, and the wind will be really the story as temperatures continue to fall. We'll be starting off at 57, but going back down to 49 at noon. Eau Claire, you're going to see the precipitation last all day pretty much, but it will be a dwindling trend, if I can say it in my word there, in the afternoon as actually rain could mix with snow in the afternoon. But a wet commute, and you'll see the winds also picking up with temperatures by midday. We're getting to 45. Currently, rainfall amounts right now 1.5 inches over at La Crosse. There's a good swath of 1, potentially 1.5 right now, but it does cut off quite sharply as you go to the north. Only 700ths right now, Eau Claire, and just light rain amounts. And that's kind of be the trend until we get to tomorrow's radar shows another line beginning to approach, but the heavier stuff is going to stay probably to the south La Crosse. We'll probably see light rain overnight, maybe a brief break. Bigger story shows all the precipitation to the south, and as we kind of time that out, you can see we'll have a break eventually in the area as we get later on tonight until the line of showers to the west, as you see there on Future Track, will begin to approach the area. But overall tonight, I think most areas will continue to see light on and off rain, and then as we come up later, we'll kind of break down what Halloween looks like for at least trick-or-treating, and when drier conditions will begin to return a bit later in the broadcast.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
The 2024 presidential candidates were both back in Wisconsin today. With the race for the White House remaining tight, both candidates are making their final appeals to voters in the key battleground state. Vice President Kamala Harris spoke at a Get Out the Vote event at UW-Madison. She was joined by musicians Gracie Abrams, Mumford & Sons, and Remy Wolf. At the rally, the vice president talked about her hope to turn the page on the divisive political rhetoric.
We have an opportunity in this election to turn the page on a decade of Donald Trump trying to keep us divided and afraid of each other.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump rallied in Green Bay, joined by legendary Packers quarterback Brett Favre. As he arrived, former President Trump walked over to a Trump-themed garbage truck dressed in an orange vest. He is seizing an opportunity to criticize Democrats after President Biden made remarks appearing to call Trump supporters garbage.
Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage.
The White House says President Biden was referring to the comedian who made a racist joke about Puerto Rico at Trump's Madison Square Garden rally.
So battleground state polls show Trump and Harris are essentially in a dead heat. But this week, Trump has been confident of a return to the White House.
We're going to do really well with the House, right? our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
Trump speaking directly to Mike Johnson at that point, Speaker of the House. Johnson has since said Trump was simply referring to get out the vote tactics, but that statement sent some Democrats into a frenzy this week, assuming Trump was talking about a contingent election. That's when no one receives 270 electoral votes and the House ends up voting for president, with each state getting one vote. And that is mathematically possible if Trump and Harris both get 269 electoral votes. This map here shows one way that can happen. Harris winning Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and one electoral vote in Nebraska, but then losing Pennsylvania and Georgia. Now, UWL political science professor Anthony Chergosky says a tie is a long shot, but what could be more of an issue is the concept of faithless electors.
We saw numerous faithless electors in the 2016 election. And to me, that is a real vulnerability of the electoral college system.
A faithless elector votes against the popular vote result of his or her state. Only a small handful did so back in 2016, not enough to turn an election. In Wisconsin, electors are bound to the state's popular vote. And in 2020, the U.S. Supreme Court said states can punish faithless electors.
La Crosse School Board members hosted their final informational sessions for the November referendum. 12 sessions were held leading up to the election to educate voters on the $53.5 million referendum, asking voters to close Emerson and Spencer elementary schools. The session provided opportunities to ask questions about the $53 million reference. The referendum proposes to move Emerson and Spence elementary school to a new elementary school. State Road and Hinchin elementary schools will also be combined with a new building addition. The superintendent says the referendum will bring the community together.
It allows us to upgrade our facilities to meet today's learning needs of our students. The board put this on the ballot because they believe it strengthens our communities. It brings neighborhoods and classrooms and schools together instead of dividing them.
Attendees met with board members to discuss the referendum's impact on students' learning environment.
2 Monroe County school districts are also aiming to pass some major capital referendums, both of which would upgrade the district's high schools. Toma's $177 million referendum would create a brand new high school building. The current high school would then be converted into the district's middle school, and the current middle school would become an elementary school. The district would also close 5 buildings if successful. Less than 20 miles west, Sparta has a similar goal. An $87 million capital referendum would replace an aging part of the high school building with a new 2-story addition. It would also cover some smaller upgrades at Meadowview Middle and Southside Early Learning Center.
We want our students, our faculty, and our community members to all experience the power of a brand new building and also the opportunities that it would allow.
For us, it's about the need, not necessarily the want. But every community story is a little bit different, and that's why, you know, having these discussions is so important.
Both superintendents tell News 8 Now they're feeling positive with just under a week before the election, saying they've had good discussions with the community.
Dahl Automotive presented a check for over $31,000 to the Family and Children's Center today. The money was raised through Dahl's Lubathon promotion. During the month of September, $5 was donated after every oil change to help support child abuse prevention programs. The automotive shop has partnered with the Family Children's Center for the last 16 years. The owner says it's all part of their mission to give back.
Our entire team is super excited for raising over $31,000 for Family and Children's Center. The effort, the work they put in the month of September to make this happen is truly exceptional, and I cannot thank my team enough and our guests that came in to support this great event.
Over the last 16 years, Dahl Automotive has raised over $275,000 for the Family and Children's Center's child abuse prevention programs.
A big announcement from the Children's Miracle Network. Earlier this month, they held their annual Radiothon to raise money for the Miracle program. That event raised more than $118,000. One CMN hospital specialist says all the money will stay local and be used to support families.
Families will directly feel the impact of these donations. We're really unique as a CMN hospital to be able to provide funds directly to families to help their child with whatever their specific needs are.
CMN hospitals distribute over $340,000 directly to families every year.
Serving the community.
The Reach Center is celebrating 3 years of assisting low-income households.
No matter where I seat my guests, they seem to like the kitchen best. A kitchen's the heart of the home. It should be warm and welcoming. It should be attractive and functional. But it can be a real challenge unless you come here where you can meet with a designer, find all of the products that you need, and trust the project to our carpenters, plumbers, and electricians. For kitchens, bathrooms, and other home improvements, put your trust in the Board Store Home Improvements. Contact us today.
Who does Derek Van Orden think he is? This guy who reportedly shouted at kids in the U.S. Capitol? I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman.
Derek Van Orden doesn't care about making our lives better. He'd make Wisconsinites pay just to give huge tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. Van Orden even sides with extremists who tried to cut Social Security. Wisconsin deserves better, and Derek Van Orden does not belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Sunday, November 3rd is the day we've all been waiting for. It's Buzzy's annual 12-hour sale. Get the best deals of the year for 12 hours only from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Furniture pricing is drastically reduced with over 50% off select products. Get a free adjustable base upgrade with select mattress purchases. Receive a $300 gift, interest-free financing, plus free delivery with Tempur-Pedic purchases, sleep experts on staff, door prizes, and so much more. Don't miss out. One day only at Buzzy's Home Furnishings.
Start your adventure and get in a new Jeep at Pischke Motors La Crosse or Pischke Motors West Salem.
Get ready for adventure days with Jeep. Stop into Pischke Motors now for 0% APR for 36 months on the 2024 Compass, Grand Cherokee, Wrangler, Gladiator, and Wagoneer. These Jeeps are ready for your next adventure. Pure comfort and functionality at your fingertips with the power and confidence you know Jeep provides. Hurry in. This offer ends October 31st.
Start your search at Pischke.com and drive away in your new Jeep.
A local nonprofit organization is celebrating a milestone. Today, the Reach Center is celebrating 3 years serving low-income households facing housing, healthcare, and financial insecurities. The Coulee Cap executive director says having multiple resources available under one roof has been critical to battling homelessness in the Coulee region.
Until you're co-located in one location, you really can't have the deep problem-solving conversations that you need to have, whether that's aligning procedures so that when people come in, it's a streamlined process for them, or just brainstorming on who has what resources to be able to help someone as they come in with multiple needs.
To date, over 6,000 households have received help from more than 20 community organizations involved in the initiative.
A new art piece has been installed in front of the temporary dog park in Burns Park. The piece is called Incendiary. The temporary installation, funded by a creative development grant from the city's Arts Board, will remain on display for a year. The artist behind the project says the area has a personal connection to him, making the installment even more exciting.
Probably even more excited about it because that building over there is the welding facility for Western Technical College, and that's actually where I got my welding technical diploma after I graduated from UWL, so I'm pretty stoked about that too.
The city says the installation reflects its commitment to fostering innovative public art experiences.
Well, more news ahead.
But first,
we still have some wet conditions for Halloween, but we also got some strong and gusty winds that could impact trick-or-treating, as well as some much colder temperatures. We'll time out the winds and see what the temperatures look like. That coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde owns a $3 billion California bank. That's right, he owns it.
And a $7 million mansion on the beach.
Eric Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax breaks for rich guys just like him.
And to pay for it, Hovde would cut Social Security by 28%.
Slash Medicare 25%.
And veterans benefits 40%.
Outrageous. Now we know what's wrong with Eric Hovde. This guy is not for us.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. They've always taken care of me. But when they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. So they sent me this Hollywood trainer. Oh, this guy's no joke. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Now let's try burpees.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular. Current customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $400 off any tablet.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More mattresses. Did you know you spend a third of your life sleeping? So you better have the best mattress you possibly can. And we have those here at King Furniture with a huge selection to choose from in every price range. Lay down and relax. Take the time to find the exact mattress you want because you're going to be sleeping on this for a while.
King Furniture.
Nice people, nice furniture.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
Yeah, we talk about all the rain that we're getting and potentially even a little bit of snow for some areas tomorrow, but the wind will also be a story tomorrow along with falling temperatures. So tomorrow's highs will actually be when you get up, and we're going to continue to fall throughout the day. So that's a big story too, going the windy and falling temps on Thursday. We still have south of I-94, wet morning, but then we're going to kind of dry out and the wind will be the story. North of this or along I-994 and north continue to be wet all day with some of that rain turning or mixing with snow towards the end. And I'll kind of time that out too. But it's just once again going to be feeling more like it should be for the 31st of October. But overall, if you wake up tomorrow morning, we're going to see that break going on overall. But then you're going to see this precipitation band begin to wrap up here. By about 3 a.m. you can see overall most of the area is quite dry with a few showers to the northwest, and that main line is pushed off to the southeast. Now the back edge of this precipitation is what's going to rotate through the morning commute. So you'll see it increasing showers come 5 to 6 in the morning, but then there could be a nice little weak line of showers coming through right during the morning commute. Then it lifts north of I-90 by the time we get to about 9 a.m. and kind of stalls out over that area as the low begins to push northeast. So areas south will probably be dry for the rest of the day, but up in this area, you eventually could see that shower continue. In fact, you probably could see a lot of this transition to a little bit of snow going into the afternoon for Eau Claire northward. See, the temperatures were down to about 41 here, 37 up Ladysmith, so still quite high to get any accumulation at those temperatures, but that'll continue. By meanwhile, areas to the south are just going to see the wind, and eventually as we get closer to 6 to 7, precipitation begins to lift off to the northeast. Temperatures are now in the 30s area wide, getting close to freezing up to Ladysmith. So we could see a little snow up there. Otherwise, minor accumulation on grassy areas. Now, precipitation here for till 10 a.m. Not a lot, really, pretty much right through this dry area, maybe a tenth of a quarter. It's further to the west and east that we see more. Tomorrow, the emphasis is more north and east. We're going to see more precipitation. In fact, way up to Rusk County, they could see another quarter to an inch. That could be rain or snow. It really tails off as you go further south with maybe just less than a tenth for most of the area because it will remain quite dry as all the precipitation will be up to the north. Snow-wise, I think most of it should stay just north of Rusk County, but we could see 1 inch potentially on grassy areas. Much better shot if you go further west toward the Twin Cities and especially as you go north to Duluth, where they could pick up quite a bit of snow as that band sets up. But that's what we're looking at. So a lot of areas could see their first taste of snow, but not going to accumulate much, and definitely road surfaces. And you have a special weather statement highlighting this for Minneapolis all the way over to Rusk County that you could see some minor accumulation Right now, road impacts would be very minimum due to the time of the day and the season right now. But something to keep in mind of if you're traveling in that direction, you will see the rain turn to some snow. As well, wind-wise, we could see winds gusting all the way up to 25 to 30 miles per hour in the afternoon. So that'll be the big story for trick-or-treating once the rain stops, is the wind. Dry conditions return Friday, and then we have more activity returning Saturday night through next Tuesday. But temperatures do come back up, so that'll be all rain event too. So it's definitely going to feel like Halloween tomorrow with the wind, the temperatures, and then some that will get that white stuff starting to flow.
I'm excited. It's like a theme. It's getting in theme.
It definitely will feel like a good Halloween, although trick-or-treating will be a little bit windy out there.
Yeah, a little chill.
Yeah, a little chill.
Not bad.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, Panthers on the prowl. The West Salem cross-country teams are gearing up for what they hope to be a fast race on Saturday. We'll hear from a couple of runners next.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, with 6 locations of fun.
At Ashley, it's not just Black Friday. It's the Ashley stain-resistant fabric Where Have You Been All My Life Black Friday event. But don't wait. It's also the Ashley You Can Save Up to $1,000 store-wide Black Friday event.
I believe in bringing people together, like my family and neighbors did when I was growing up on the north side of La Crosse. And now that I'm in the state legislature, it's why I focus on bipartisanship, because my whole being is focused on bringing people together to find solutions to make everyone a winner. I've appreciated the opportunity to be your state representative, and if I'm reelected, that's what I'm going to continue to do. My entire focus will be on bringing people together to make Wisconsin a better state.
Who does Derek Van Orden think he is? This guy who reportedly shouted at kids in the U.S. Capitol? I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman.
Derek Van Orden doesn't care about making our lives better. He'd make Wisconsinites pay just to give huge tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. Van Orden even sides with extremists who tried to cut Social Security. Wisconsin deserves better, and Derek Van Orden does not belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Donald Trump has always wanted unchecked power.
I have the right to do whatever I want as president.
And with Project 2025, he'll get it. No guardrails. This time, he will eliminate protections for pre-existing conditions, and he'll cut Social Security and Medicare to give more tax cuts to billionaires. Donald Trump is more unhinged and unstable than ever. If we give him total power, he'll put everything at risk.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
It seems like everyone in Washington is either too far left or too far right. I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'll stand up to Democrats to fight for a secure border and stop wasteful spending. I'll stand up to extremists like Derek Van Orden, who wants to ban all abortions with no exceptions. Like you, I'm fed up and ready for change. I approve this message because it's time that we sent one of us to Congress.
At Ashley, it's not just Black Friday. It's the Ashley Mommy Needs This More Than Anything Else in the World Black Friday event. But don't wait, because it's also the Ashley You Can Get 0% Interest for 72 Months Black Friday event.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
The West Salem Panthers are having quite the fall sports season. The volleyball team won conference and is still alive in the postseason. Football team has been ranked in the top 5 basically the whole year. Now both cross-country teams are getting ready for the state meet on Saturday. It's the 4th season in a row the girls team has punched their ticket to Wisconsin Rapids, while the boys are now on their 5th consecutive time running at the state championships. For the girls, it's been a season of ups and downs with injuries and other obstacles, but the Panthers' top finisher from the 2023 state meet, Mia Olson, says they'll lean on their experience on the big stage.
Coming in, we're an older team, so that has its advantages, especially because I think almost everyone has ran at the state meet previously. So, you know, we're familiar with the environment, so we're ready to see what state holds for us this year.
And on the boys' side, there's a bit of a revenge factor on the minds of the West Salem Speedsters. Last year, they finished 4th in the team standings, and they're looking to improve upon that placement this time around, following their motto, run as one.
Obviously, we've been there in the past. Last year, 4th place finish. Maybe not what we wanted, but a huge stepping block towards a bigger goal, obviously, this year. And I think that we'll really be able to make our mark if we run as one.
The girls run at 12:40 while the boys run at 2:35 at Ridges Golf Course in Wisconsin Rapids. All right, how about some Wednesday night volleyball action? UWL taking on Stout at home. First set, Blue Devil offense looking to add one to the board, but it gets sent back courtesy of Paige Geyser. Eagles up 2. Then UWL making some noise at the net. Annie Werner goes through the block for the kill. Blue Devils looking to find their footing in the opening game. Brooke McCune gives it a go and lands out of bounds to make it 12-8. Then it's McCune coming up again. Stings one that falls to the floor for the point. She had 28 kills in the contest. This one would go 5 sets, back and forth affair, but Stout ends up on top, taking the final set 15-13. And now it's time for the News 8 Play of the Week nominees. Starting us off at number 1, the Viterbo volleyball team is rolling as of late, and this lady right here is a big reason why. Jada Mitchell with one of her team-high 10 kills in the win over Governor State. Staying on the volleyball court for number 2, last night a close call for Caledonia. Here is Liv Myrie with the impressive solo block. Warriors would, though, squeak out a win against Pine Island in 5 sets to keep their season alive. At number 3, football last Friday night, an impressive level 1 win for North Crawford over Elman Bancroft. Big day for this guy right here, Landon Blaha, 102 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns, including this one in the victory. Number 4 we go, also from last Friday, a big play before halftime to get Onalaska some much-needed momentum. It's Ian Cole hooking up with Broden Steiner in stride right before halftime. Onalaska would hold on for a 13-8 win. And lastly, we've got Gabe Lynch with a flat-out ridiculous run in UW La Crosse's top 10 upset over River Falls last Saturday. Lynch just shrugging off defenders. He set a career high with 38 rushes for 229 yards in the W, straight up shrugging off defenders. So those are your nominees to choose from. Voting is live right now, and it closes on Friday at 5 p.m. Winner announced during the 6 p.m. sports. So good stuff as always, guys. Any initial thoughts, or which way we're leaning?
Well, first of all, 38 carries for 229. That, I think, is the definition of a workhorse.
So that's a big day. Yeah. That's a big day.
Looking like a lightning running back, though. Slight of build, but he's throwing defenders off. I think that gets the nod for me.
It's a good one.
I go for Blaha again. I like Blaha.
She likes that one. Also, shout out to the West Salem runners today, running through the rain. I was out there as well. I don't want to toot my own horn at all, but everyone braving the elements outside before the state meet.
Good job, Jacob.
Good job to them especially, but I mean, I was out there.
You're a warrior.
Yes.
That's what I do.
All right, we've got more news right after this.
It's the Veterans Day sale at Home Furniture, and everything is on sale in living room, dining room, bedroom, and mattresses. Take an extra 10% off sale prices or pay no interest for 3 years. Plus, all Christmas decor is 50% off. The Veterans Day sale, now at Home Furniture.
Let's talk about Rebecca Cook. She's a political operative. She's worked for defund the police radicals across this country.
Cook spent millions getting Mandela Barnes elected, the most anti-law enforcement candidate in Wisconsin's history.
You remember Barnes, the guy who said reducing prison populations was sexy?
Defund the police radicals make it harder for us to keep you safe.
That's why we can't support Rebecca Cook, because she'll never support us.
Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She supported his disastrous economic agenda, higher taxes on the middle class. Kamala backed his open border policies, and their weakness invited wars. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower, and the border secure. But Kamala wants to double down on failure. Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I, Kamala Devi Harris, do solemnly swear.
Kamala swore an oath, but Kamala created crisis after crisis. Our troops murdered, an open border, crime in our streets, skyrocketing costs, assassination attempts, Americans abandoned during disasters, and we're on the brink of World War III.
a broken oath, and a broken America. Kamala can't be trusted in the Oval Office. Vote for President Trump and save America. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Blain's Farm & Fleet's Fall Workwear event is going on now. We've got unbeatable deals on quality boots and apparel to help your hard-earned dollars go further. Like $5 off men's work and sport flannels starting at $24.99. Shop new fall styles of men's and women's Ariat workwear and accessories. Get $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 you spend on Carhartt gear. Plus, save $80 on this Milwaukee 4-tool combo kit.
Celebrate the season at Home Seasonal Concepts. Enjoy 50% off the merriest selection of trees, wreaths, garland, and all your festive holiday decor needs. 'Tis the season to sparkle and celebrate. Shop holiday at Home Seasonal Concepts inside all home furniture showrooms.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Sports trading cards have been a staple of American culture for a very long time.
Westminster Kennel Club is putting its own spin on that proud tradition with dog trading cards. They're partnering with Topps, Fanatics' trading card company. Fanatics acquired Topps in 2022.
So they're releasing a line of inserts called Stars of the Show, featuring some champion pooches from Sage the Miniature Poodle to right here, Trumpet the Bloodhound. The release includes so-called relic cards. Those are rare cards that have a small piece of memorabilia, such as fabric from a game-worn jersey. The Stars of the Show relics will feature authentic cut-up pieces of the winning dog's Best in Show ribbon. So I wonder what the clientele potentially looks like for a trading card subsection of Westminster Kennel Club
What,
dogs.
little ladies?
Perhaps.
Right?
Trading card enthusiasts,
Yeah.
collectors.
They're cute. I wouldn't get into it, would you?
No, and I wasn't really a sports trading card person either, so
No.
I probably wouldn't venture into the dog
Yeah.
trading card.
No, cute.
I'll just
Okay.
adopt more dogs.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, Greg, we'll have one final look at your forecast when we come back.
Sunday, November 3rd is the day we've all been waiting for. It's Buzzy's annual 12-hour sale. Get the best deals of the year for 12 hours only from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Furniture pricing is drastically reduced with over 50% off select products. Get a free adjustable base upgrade with select mattress purchases. Receive a $300 gift, interest-free financing, plus free delivery with Tempur-Pedic purchases, sleep experts on staff, door prizes, and so much more. Don't miss out. One day only at Buzzy's Home Furnishing.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
Think you know Steve Doyle? Think again. Doyle refused to protect our daughters, forcing them to share bathrooms and locker rooms with biological boys, and voted to force girls to compete against boys in sports. Doyle believes dangerous puberty-blocking drugs should be given to minors, and gender reassignment surgeries performed on children. Keep kids safe? Steve Doyle says no. Ryan Hipsch, focused on what matters, helping families with rising costs and protecting our children. It's just common sense. Ryan Hipsch for Assembly.
At Rank Seed, we expect excellence in every seed, superior genetics, state-of-the-art processing facilities, and extensive testing for proper placement. Let us help you find the right seed for your growing conditions. Rank Seed. Results since 1846.
Seeing clearly matters. Being seen matters more. Get 40% off lenses on a complete pair purchase. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
All right, definitely wet, windy, and colder for your Halloween, especially for trick-or-treating. Bundle up with the wind.
We'll see you tomorrow.